Hello guys, and welcome to another weekly ramble video, the second one in this series. Oh, one sec. Yeah, in this video I'm going to try to do some Hunter while I record this, so I'm not at Arty as much. We'll see how that goes. I might get a little bit distracted, but hopefully I'll be able to make a cohesive commentary. I have a couple of topics I want to talk about today. This video might end up running a bit long, but I guess that's okay. So this week was the first week of my new job, and it's going pretty well. My new job is pretty fun to work at. Cool people there, cool facilities, and yeah, just generally enjoying it. It's also quite easy to phone zone with it, which I'm pretty happy about. So that will remain a thing for the next 3 months, which is about how long this job will go on for. Yeah, hopefully I can stay consistent with Hunter and just finish it off by the end of summer like I'd planned to. In addition, I've also been trying a slightly different sleep schedule. So back when I was neat, like a week or two ago, I was on a pretty not a really good sleep schedule. I was sleeping just a bit too much because I'm really lazy, and if I don't have an obligation where I absolutely need to get up at a certain time and go do something, then it's really easy for me to just get up, shut off my alarm, and then go back to sleep. And I kind of just don't want to do that anymore. So I've been sleeping 6 hours a night, which might be a bit too little for me right now, but I feel like I can function at least somewhat well on it. So, and it does leave me a lot of time to do other stuff during the day, which is always nice. But I think I'm pretty worn out from that because last night I just kind of went to bed early. I was feeling really tired, and I slept in a lot today. Like this morning, I slept in probably till 10:30 or so. I woke up at 7:30, but just decided to lay in bed for quite a while because I was just so sleepy. But I'm back now, and I think I'm just gonna take a bit of time to relax this weekend and then go back at it Monday morning. But yeah, my hunter gains have been looking pretty good for most of the week, except for yesterday because I went to sleep early. My hunter gains have been roughly 600 to 700k a day, which is a pretty good pace for me. That's around the pace I was at during my old job when I was doing school, so I should be able to possibly even improve on that, and hopefully I'll be able to average 6 to 7 mil hunter weeks. If I average 7 mil hunter weeks, I'll probably finish just before the end of summer, which is going to be a pretty cool thing to think about. But yeah, 6 mil is fine for me. I don't actually have to play too much during the weekend if I can maintain my consistent 600 to 700k days during work days. But yeah, also, in addition, something that's been bugging me lately is my internet. I've been having a lot of lag spikes, like the one you just saw. And yesterday was really bad, and that's one of the reasons I just decided to call it quits early. I did Hunter for about an hour and just decided to run the roost for a bit and then head to sleep. Yeah, hopefully it gets better at some point, but it's been bad for a really long time now. I think over a year, and yeah, it's kind of demotivating. But there's not too much I can do about it right now, so I'm just gonna try to stick it through. Alright, so I have been doing a lot more NMZ and Arty than I should have because in the morning when I wake up, I actually wake up like an hour before I need to head off to work. And I just mainly run the ruse, do a farm run, drink some tea, relax. And that's been pretty fun. That's a nice little routine I've got going on. Of course, I guess I could be hunting, but for some reason I just don't really feel like hunting in the morning. It's just not something that I feel like doing. And it's only going to be for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes at most probably, so I just resolve myself to hunt in the evening when I come back home and on the weekends. But yeah, NMZ there's not too much I can do. Like, when I'm at work, it's pretty much the only thing I can do, so I'll just be doing that whenever I'm there. Luckily, it's pretty easy to phone zone at work, so I'll be getting a lot of strength XP. I think I'm gonna stop training strength around 150 mil, just so I have a good amount of it left, and I'll probably just start zoning attack, which I know is going to be a bit less EHP, but I kind of want to just save my strength XP for now. So also, I got the agility pet, I think, not yesterday, but 2 days ago, last night, or 2 nights ago. And this is pretty unexpected. I was just running the roost for a little bit before I was going to sleep, and I just suddenly got on the last obstacle. So that was kind of cool. I actually don't really care about pets, but I guess it's kind of cool to have that one. I actually did take it into the wilderness by accident, which was pretty annoying because I had to use another Hunter Cape teleport and go bank it. Normally I would just leave it out, but because I don't really care about losing it, but it was standing on top of my box traps and I was misclicking on it a lot, so I decided to just go bank it. Alright, so now on to the next topic of this video, which is going to be sort of my long-term playstyle thoughts on what I'm going to do. I've talked about this a bit before, but I guess I'll go into it right now. Whenever people ask me what I'm going to do after Hunter, which a lot of people have asked me, I usually tell them something like fishing, but I also say like I'm going to skill hop a bit, you know, get like 90 woodcutting, maybe do a couple of more things before I get into fishing. But when I was starting to go for Hunter, I had like no thoughts about what I'm going to do after. To me, Hunter was just like, it was just a thing that I was going to do and see if I could do. I wasn't really sure if I could do it when I first started it. I think around 20 mil Hunter XP, when I finally settled into my daily Hunter routine and just was doing pretty consistent weeks, I realized that I could probably do Hunter pretty much all the way straight without any problems, and that's how it's been ever since. But at first I really wasn't sure, and I was just not even sure if I was going to be an efficient scaler or anything like that. I was kind of a noob at the time and just learning how to play longer hours and how to focus on EHP and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun, and I definitely felt like I definitely feel like I've improved since then. But yeah, that's kind of why I don't really have a lot of long-term plans, because Hunter was just a thing I decided to do, and I wasn't really thinking too much about it when I started going for it. The real reason that I started doing post 99 Hunter was that after I finished Hunter in the beginning of like January, I think like January 1st I finished Hunter, or the day before that, which is like December 30th, I think. But yeah, anyway, after I finished Hunter, I ran the roost for a couple of weeks, and I just felt like I really should have gone back and done more Hunter, because 99 just felt so incomplete to me, and it felt like it definitely like took me a while to get it. It definitely did work a lot to get it, but it felt incomplete. It just felt like I could have done so much more with it, and I felt like, oh, let me go try for 50 mil or something. Let me go try for maybe 200 mil, because to me 200 mil is the real finishing of the skill. 99 just sort of like a cute little benchmark, testing the waters almost. But yeah, I really enjoyed the skill, and that's kind of why I've been doing it so long. I think if I really hated the skill, I would probably, I don't know if I would have burned out, but I would definitely not try as hard to put in consistent hours with it. But yeah, long term, I think I'm probably going to do mostly gatherers. I think I will do fishing straight to 200 mil when I do it, when I finally settle in and do it, because to me it's going to be a lot like Hunter, where it's just a long skill, fairly long skill. I know it's like twice the length of Hunter, but it's also a pretty fun method, just like this method, and I really enjoy like this method, even though I'm not the best at it. I'm a little bit distracted a lot. But yeah, fishing has been really fun while I've been doing it, and I feel like I can get into a good rhythm with it a lot easier than I did with Hunter. I think it's just going to be so much more enjoyable because there's no way for you to be interrupted during fishing, really. It's not like Hunter at all. Alright, so I guess I'll talk about Fantasy HP this week, since it's my first week of being on the team. I'm on the Devils, and I didn't start this week because I wasn't really sure about like how many hours I could play this week. It turned out that I probably should have played because there's a couple of people that kind of sandbagged on my team, and I could have definitely subbed out for one of those, and we could have probably been pretty close to the Catacomb Cats, which is the team that we're facing this week. But yeah, here at this point we're gonna lose. It's pretty set in stone. No one's really feeling motivated to put in a lot of hours and try to get like the 40-point loss or 40-hour loss so that they can get the extra point. Hopefully it'll go better next week, but it is going to be tricky. I'm not sure how many players we have that will be motivated or have the capacity to do decent weeks. I'm going to try my best and shoot for maybe a 70, but we'll see about that. So another thing I wanted to touch on, because of Fantasy HP is my motivation. I think what really motivates me is just playing for myself and setting my own goals. I think that's why when it came to Fantasy, I wasn't really too interested. I didn't care about not being drafted right away, because I just sort of play day to day. I do my little Hunter XP per day, whatever it is I do, and then I set my own little goals and try to reach them, like daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, so on and so on. I think that's what really pushes me to keep going. But when it came to Fantasy, and it's just all about getting the most HP per week, I just didn't really care that much. Luckily, I'm in a position where it's not too hard for me to go for EHP just doing what I normally do. I don't really have to change my playstyle at all. But I'm gonna see if I'll get motivated next week and put in more hours than I usually do. It'll be interesting, definitely. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to touch on before ending this video was the reopening of Vision. So for anyone who doesn't know, Vision closed down, I think like a month ago. Maybe a bit less, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago. So being that it was closed down, I was suddenly out of a clan since I was a member there. And I just decided to join Solus, and that was that, pretty much. I'm still a Smiley in there. But since Vision reopened, a lot of people have been joining back in it, people that used to be there. Interestingly enough, Dave is also in there, David Metric Points, the man himself. I'm not really sure why, but it seems like a couple people have been joining. Like, I know NYJ, after his main got banned, he joined there with his ult. He was in there for a while. I don't think he was very active in there, but he definitely did apply and join. I guess I don't have too many thoughts about Vision reopening. I kind of expected it. I think Kaiman has just been not very stable in the past, like, well, basically the whole time that I've known about him, ever since I joined. And so he's gone like on ups and downs, and when he closed the clan, I was not really very surprised because of the way he'd been acting lately. But it seems like he's on an upward turn now. He's making a lot of positive statements, and he has reopened the clan efficiently. I'm not sure how long it'll last, but hopefully it'll last a decent while. I think I kind of like Vision because, in my mind, it should be the clan for it's one of the big. It's not one of the big three, but it's sort of like the tier just below it. It's sort of someone, if someone is interested in skilling and they don't really know much about it, they don't have anywhere near the recs for one of the big three, but they still want to become slightly part of the community. I think that's what Vision should try to aim to be. I'm not necessarily saying it should be a bridge clan, but it should be somewhere where lower level players are feel more comfortable to join and just hang out in there. Unfortunately, it wasn't really that way when I joined. It was pretty inactive, and most of the people that played did not play efficiently or much at all. And so if you joined, it's not very motivating to see that. But hopefully now that there's a couple more people joining, then things will turn around for the better. But yeah, I have reapplied there for a smiley. I'm just gonna remain a smiley in there. I don't think I'm gonna actually ever apply for a rank in there again. I plan to just stay with Solus, and in about a month or two, I should meet the Solus recruit requirements, so that'll be pretty cool to be officially a member of that clan. I think in general, clans are pretty big to the HLC or RuneScape Twitter. I just feel like it's such a core component of the community aspect in this game. I know there are a bunch of people who are not in clans, but I feel like the number of people who are in clans and are HLC is so much more. And there are like cliques and different thoughts and opinions, but in my opinion, most of the clans are kind of the same. You pretty much just join like whoever you really want to talk to and stuff like that. And in a few join a different clan, you can still become Smiley and the others, still hang out in their voice chats and stuff. So I don't think it really matters too much, but I think it definitely is very motivating to have like-minded people surrounding you, or at least, yeah, surrounding you in the same clan, basically. Right, so I think that's kind of all I wanted to touch on for this video. I've gone through all my bullet points. Hopefully this video wasn't too boring. I'm still a little bit distracted from doing something not arty during a ramble video, but hopefully I'll get better at it. Yeah, and I'll try to make another one next week. I'll try to be at least somewhat consistent with these videos. Yeah, catch you later.